Roll the open. Step my come out to camera 1, step my Greg's mic and font. Step my 3 box and take 3 box. Step my video on green. Step my fade to black. Nice job, everybody. Thank you.
And I don't know that it would hurt occasionally, knowing that it's 20 minutes, like when you're halfway in, you say, hey, how's it going? Are you okay?
I'm Andy Freeman, and I'm the senior producer of Victory News. The alarm goes off at 5:30. I'm in here at 7. Today's a day where there's a lot taking place and pieces shifting in the news. And so the first thing I do is I do a work through on the copy, just looking to streamline it and make it more verbal friendly.
As long as nobody else is doing the same thing, we're good.
Kind of started Victory News out of my garage in Colorado. They sent me a bunch of lights, and so we started Victory News by recording probably 4 to 6 stories a day, and I would record them and then send them back here, and then they'd put some video on top and air them as news breaks.
We believe in the Word of God first and foremost and as the final authority. So I don't think we're here to declare fear or horrible news and catastrophe over the nation and the people. We're here to speak life and speak victory. Of course, sharing the truth, right?
What would the Word of God say? What would Jesus, how would he do this? How do I encourage these people who are watching the news and listening to us? How do I encourage them that everything's going to be okay? Where's the faith side of that story?
I have to have my time with the Lord, even within a schedule that doesn't give me much time. But yeah, that's important. Thank you. And then obviously we always have to stay on top of what's going on in the news and asking God to give us discernment and, divine download and interpretation to some of these headlines. Think about it. When you read a headline, you don't really, thank you so much. You don't really hear life these days, right? You just hear tragedy and death, really, especially recently. So it's very spiritual. Maybe some people don't see it that way. Maybe they consider that I'm a little extreme in thinking that, but we see it all around us. I'm not confused.
But I think we do things a little bit differently, and we cover stories that others don't cover, and we cover a lot more stories than other newscasts do. And so I talk to a lot of people. They say Victory News is the only place they get their news.
The American stories, the news stories, we look at it through the lens of the Word first, and then through the lens of the Constitution. How does this align with how this nation was founded, and not with the winds of change?
S14, Kenny Shue. I think you're really going to enjoy this guest. Then ask him about the big win at the University of North Carolina. He's from a little bit about how woke and DEI is.
So is 14, is that me or is that Mike?
The terrorist organization, basically Turkish terrorists.
So I know Kenny's talking about the woke and all that stuff. I know he's of Chinese descent. Does he talk about China at all?
So for my own Bebop interview
Yep.
is pre-taped from yesterday.
The courthouse, and then wherever the protest is going on.
Oh, I need to. Normally, we've got these AP Lives that come in that I can just pop up on the monitor and look at them.
This is live right now.
Look at the guy with the mask.
That's funny.
We'll go out in the studio and begin to rehearse with the teleprompter. They'll go over all their assets to make sure everything's playing properly and everything's in the right order. Lower thirds, the names on the bottom of the screen. Here are a few of the stories we're watching for you right now. Former President Donald Trump faces a big day in New York City court today, and the media can hardly. We are right now 1 minute from air, and our guest just checked on.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Victory News. This is Tuesday, April the 4th, 2023. I'm Greg Stevens, along with Mike Garofalo and Fior Hernandez. Here are a few of the stories we're watching for you right now. Donald Trump faces a big day in New York City court today, and the media can hardly wait. Ahead, we'll talk with constitutional attorney Chris Ann Hall all about it.
Step my camera 5.
One of the things I enjoy so much about doing the news is, we do the news, but we also can tell people that we serve a God that's bigger than the news. And as we head down to the border, I've always thinking about the Border Patrol agents and the Department of Public Safety troopers that are down there trying to keep us all safe with very little help from our government. But we believe God for them. And so we're going to go down there and we're going to show people what's going on and tell them the truth. Because obviously that's not what they're getting from other places. But, you know, when you have the truth on your side, the truth will prevail.
Mike, while DHS Secretary Alejandro Mayorkas refuses to use the word crisis and has even proclaimed the border is secure, the reality is things along the border, both the northern and southern border, seem to grow worse by the day.
And we will look for you this afternoon. Don't forget, FlashPoint tonight, Jesse Duplantis will be on. We'll see you later. Bye.
What's up, brother?
Rick, what's happening, man?
Hey, man, how are you?
Oh, you know, just a regular old day, nothing happening.
Yeah.
You know how it is.
Nothing on the news. It's a boring news day.
No big deal, really. Tonight, obviously, the Trump story is going to be front and center. I know we only have you for the first half. So, Gene was basically saying, we really need you to speak to the constitutionality of this whole thing.
Gene building, Gene
Big news, big news.
Benny Johnson, that's what I told you about, the Ninth Circuit.
Yeah,
And then
definitely need to make
have
sure we get that out.
The follow-up, Eric Trump's follow-up to that, which talks about this as in addition to the roughly $500,000 that she already owes him.
So what do you think you're going to have for me at the top whenever we go to you?
Well, it's basically, I mean, there are no surprises here. This is just a whole lot of fluff.
Yeah. Okay.
So maybe I'll write up a couple a couple quotes from a couple people, and then just write up what the gist of it was. But beyond that, it's going to be like there's nothing here.
Yeah. It's kind of what it seems.
Yeah.
Everything I've reading is 34 counts. It's more like three or four counts of the same one.
The same thing. We'll need to make sure is let Hank, Jesse, and Dutch all kind of know that the window at the front of the show is going to be a little shorter. We'll probably have more time at the back of the show.
FlashPoint is always striving to give people like, hey, this is okay. So we know that's bad. So what do we do about it?
Right.
And whether it's as simple as calling your senator, or it's deep enough that you go take a biblical civics course from Rick Green and figure out what you need to do and really go affect change in your area. So it's helping people understand how to do things like how to change your school board. This is like practical stuff, as well as inspirational, and what you need to do spiritually to be prepared, how to do this in faith and not in fear. You know, I want, if there's personal things, I want the FlashPoint Army and the people that watch to feel like they got a little bit of an inside track from a spirit of faith perspective. They get a little inside track on what's really going on, and we try hard to do that as much as we can. Yeah. So that way you know how to pray.
Can we go through the lower thirds with the clips so I can make sure, because I didn't hear the clips, if we can just check them. You got a haircut. You look cute. This is going to be an exciting show. Can I tell you all that? All right, let's go. Donald J. Trump charged with 34 felony counts in New York. That's good. That's 1 through 4.
There's 4 of them.
Okay. They're still tweaking his shot, Gene.
That's fine.
No, we're good.
Good? Good. But it's also the same for
number
Twitter.
2, Steve, sorry.
Clip number 2, lower third end.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, so we need a different lower third for that one. I know, I'm thinking. Let me come back to that, Rebecca. Let's check the others, okay? Rush Limbaugh on criminalizing Trump. Got it. Can you play for me clip number 4, LaRon? Good job, guys. All right, moving on. What did you have for Luke Ball? I didn't see his, though.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you very much. Okay. I can get all 3.
Ball, FlashPoint contributor. Cool.
Should we put it on the phone?
And we thank you, Lord. Speak to us, through us, and for us. In Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. 10 seconds to the open.
1.
Open rolling. 15 seconds to Gene.
Good evening, everybody. I'm Gene Bailey, and you are watching FlashPoint. Glad you're with us tonight. Right now, I want to say go share this program. We have a lot of ground to cover. A lot of
Stand by.
Get things started. Let me pitch it over to Mike Garofalo with today's news.
Gina, big day in a Manhattan courtroom as former President Donald Trump.
These 34 indictments, it's a waste of paper.
This is absolutely connecting dots that don't exist.
This is all to point to something, and this is what I want to say to those of you that are watching. Everything comes to full circle.
We have tweet 8 and 9 ready. If you want to get into that.
Some of the people when this indictment came out.
All right? Remember, we'll see you next time right here on FlashPoint. Thank you, gentlemen.
Great show, everybody.
Good job. Good job, bud.
That was clean.
Great show. Yeah, hey.
Good show. That was one of the fastest ones we've had.
Harbinger, I thought, are both popular. Those are popular.
So you see, that's how it goes. One show done. We're not even out of the studio. We're talking about the next one.
We work together as a family, as a team, and when it comes to a crunch, they all are there to be there for us. And no matter what goes on, because we don't have any commercial breaks, when there's a situation, everyone pulls together. They're an awesome group, and I'm glad to be a part of it.